Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And so we're taking a look at the Google Pixel 6a, a device that I feel is superly underrated since its release. And might I point out, the absolute last googly color phone, as it maintained a two-tone color as its big brother, the Pixel 6, and even the Pixel 6 Pro. So going beyond that, the Google Pixel 6a is a really solid device, especially in 2024 if you're looking for a Tensor-based Google Pixel and you don't want to spend too much money. Now, the hard part of the Pixel 6a is seeing the fact that would this even be considered a mid-range device? Only for the simple fact of that it still runs the same processor chip as the 6 and 6 Pro. Yeah, it has 6 gigabytes of RAM, but RAM doesn't actually make a device flagship or not a flagship. I think the only reason why that people look at the Pixel 6a series as a mid-range device is because the pricing is lower than the flagships and it's made with polycarbonate, which is plastic, rather than glass back. But even then, that's not something that I would feel that would necessarily, to me, be a mid-range, but I digress from that. The phone still functions pretty great. It's on the latest version of Android 14, got the March 5th security patch. All aspects of it are pretty good. And even in today's market, when you're trying to get a device that has the good abilities to take photos, I feel like the Google Pixel 6a does a fantastic job in taking pictures, especially, if you're one that, loves to capture those moments. You can get some really good photos, and you'll see here. I think the photos came out pretty decent for what they are. They're doable for social media. So I really have no complaints on the capabilities that it can take photos. When it comes to videos, it's going to be a different ball game. So you can take some pretty decent videos with the Pixel 6a's main camera on the back, which is a 12.2 megapixel Sony IMX363 sensor, which was used on previous Pixel devices prior. So you can tell that basically optimization for photos is going to be good. Videos, however, a little bit different. So with the rear cameras, you can shoot in 4K and in 60 frames per second, or in full HD, 60 frames per second, 30 frames per second. So you get those options. But with the selfie cam and you're trying to record video, you don't have that option to change it up. So you're literally stuck 1080p, 30 frames when shooting with the selfie cam. Now, as far as the Tensor G1 performance, the Tensor G1, obviously the first generation of Google's in-house chip, designed by Google to be efficient for AI and developed by Samsung. So you got to keep that in mind when thinking about any of the Tensor-based Pixel devices. But even though it doesn't feel like a slouch at all whatsoever. Using things like Gemini works just fine. Using social media apps work on the fly. There's no problems at all whatsoever when it comes to the Tensor G1. It handles things pretty well. On top of that, the modem that's used in the Pixel 6a, I feel like does a pretty decent job connecting to the different carriers that I use, like Visible, for example. It's able to connect to ultra wideband, able to pull some pretty decent speeds in my area. And this is compared to, like T-Mobile and other companies that I've used. It does fairly well. So, I can't really complain. There's no millimeter wave access in my area, and this is not a millimeter wave capable connected device. So you also got to keep that in mind that if millimeter wave is something that you really have to have in a phone, you're not going to find it with this. Pixel 6a is sub 6. So sub 6 gigahertz. That's pretty much what you're going to get is mid-band and low band. But other than the 5G connectivity, overall, I have to say that my experience with the Pixel 6a is great. I said that in the beginning, and I'll continue to say that throughout this video. It's been great. It functions pretty good. It does what I need it to do, and the pricing is awesome. So let me know what your guys' thoughts in the comments. Thanks for checking out my video.